Hello everybody, I'm CTMAN 1975. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna do kind of, I guess you would call it some people might call it a tutorial, some people might just watch it for entertainment, I don't know. But I'm gonna show you how I start a new profile, or how I've started the other two profiles. So, first thing you're gonna do is, obviously you're gonna pick your driver's name. They already picked it for me. But you have lots of people to pick from. And I think a lot of these people work at SCS. I know at least one of them doesn't, but oh, there he is. I'll go pick him. He actually works. He actually works for SCS. At least he did last time I knew, anyways. Let's put it that way. So, gonna pick our language. Mine is English. Yours may be a different one, but you can choose to have your game saved in the cloud, or maybe not. Okay, and you can choose to have yours connected to World of Trucks. I may do it later, but for right now, we're not going to. So, there. Okay, this is where you would pick your device you're going to control with. I'm not going to go over any type of specific type of control because everybody's doing it different, whether you do mouse and keyboard. Basically, you would do mouse and keyboard even if you did mouse steering because um your gas and your brake and everything would be with, I think it would still be WASD. W and S would be your gas and your brake. If you did keyboard steering, you would use A and D, and then you would use, well, I'll show you when we get to it. Okay, so for the purposes of today, well, let's put it this way. You start out with this, or California, Nevada, and Arizona when you first start out. All the rest of this is DLC. So if you want to buy all the DLCs, it is a heck of an investment. It's well over $100. But if you do it the way a lot of people do it, you start out with the base game, and then you add on as you can afford it, or as they come out in some cases. So, oops, hold on, back up. Oops. Oh well, we didn't pick our, well, we did pick it, but I didn't pick the one I wanted, but whatever. Oops, am going to pick this truck right here, because it is really legendary. So, we're going to confirm that one. Start your first job. We are starting in at Albuquerque, okay. And if you switch to outside, okay, you push E to start your truck, and you can kind of hear it. Or if you do that. Yes, I know. I know, game. I'm just doing it for the... Okay, so... just for the sake of the video today, I'm just gonna do mouse and keyboard. I really don't want to hook up my wheel right now. and because we're driving more realistic. Oh yeah, we can do it this way if you want to. And if you're doing mouse and keyboard, you would use the left brackets to turn left and the right brackets to turn right, or to do the right turn signal, excuse me. And oops. Oh, back up, back up. We're going into this RV dealership. I haven't done this type of driving in quite a while. I'm going to drive from the outside for this part of here because, okay, they're not going to have us back it in. Good. They're just going to have us press enter. Oh, we can do it. Okay. Where do you need it? We're going to do it that way just to show you that. Oh, they got a, oh, yay. They got a loading dock here. So we're going to. We're gonna have to pull up, I think. Yeah, we're gonna have to pull. Oops, we're gonna have to pull up. Hold on. I haven't done this type of driving in quite a while, so. Not this, the type of steering. I do most of my driving with a wheel, but just to show you that you don't need it, we're gonna do it with the mouse and keyboard. Whoop, whoop. Oh, T. Okay. Yes. So, now that we've done that, they're gonna have you pick your logo. I'm gonna pick the star. Oh, company name. I'm gonna pick CTMAN Logistics. There we go. And here is your headquarters that you start out with. Pretty basic, yeah, we know. But it's a place to start, and they gave it to you, so. Okay. That truck was basically just a thing to get you through the first job. Here's gonna be your starting off point, or wherever you pick in the map you have available to you. But these, oh, but the one thing that, okay, hold on, before we do that, depending on the job that you pick or the type of truck that you like, because this is where you get to kind of try out your truck that you like. So you have all kinds of different jobs that you could do. Like if you were to if you wanted to do a Volvo or International or Peterbilt, like that one up there. Depending on what you want, but there is one setting that I'm going to go back to real quick. We go into the options, and there is one. Actually, it's in gameplay, isn't it? Yes, it is. The one setting, where is it? Not there. Preferred job length. You want to make this as long as you can get it. Because if you don't do that, then you will be stuck with shorter jobs. And if you are skilled, you pick skilled parking. Or if you want to try it that way from the start and push yourself from the start. Also, all these things are set. I usually set my stability around 65 or so. Cab stiffness, I don't know, that's up to you. Suspension stiffness. If you set suspension stiffness really stiff, probably feel like you're driving a brick. Brake intensity, I don't know. I usually turn mine down because that way you don't get. Also, if you want to challenge yourself even more, you can turn on realistic fuel consumption and you'll have to get gas more often, or fuel, excuse me. Speed limiter, that's up to you. Adaptive cruise is disabled by it comes that way, let's put it that way. And I always turn that off and that down there. That way, if you leave Smart Cruise at tolerance of 5, your truck will give that 5 kilometers or 5 miles an hour difference. But if you leave the Smart Cruise at what you set it at, like if you set it at 65, it will do 65. It won't allow it to go up to 70. And if you set this at 1, or and these have to be set together, otherwise it doesn't do its thing. But I mean, hill assist, I don't know if you all of this stuff here is driver's preference. So if you want to turn, well, I would definitely suggest that you want auto blinkers off. I would not suggest turning on automatic headlights because that's a real annoyance. At least for me, anyways. Okay. So if you're going to do mouse and keyboard, you would go here, and it used to be this over here. It used to be over here, and they used to be the opposite way around, but for some reason they've changed them. So for right now, all of this is okay. I don't know why hazards are on. I guess F for flashers, but whatever. But the biggest things that you'll need are your turn signals, your wipers, starting engine, parking. I guess if you're gonna do manual shifting, yeah, you definitely want your parking brake. And sometimes you might need your diff lock. I don't think I've used it very much though. C for cruise control. Of course, that's dependent on you. And shift and control are your upshift and downshift if you want to shift manually with mouse and keyboard. T for trailer. Of course, that is left up to debate whether you want to do it that or not. and B, the one thing that you will want to change, if this is the only thing that you change, you want to change this right here. You want to put B there instead of up there. This will activate your engine brake or your Jake brake only when you push that button. Where the engine brake toggle means that you turn it on and it is on until you turn it off. Like when you're going up to speed and then you let off and the truck slows down, the engine brake will slow down your truck. Not necessarily all brake, but and then you have all of this. A lot of this has changed since the last time I looked at some of this stuff. Walking mode, photo mode. When I first started playing this here did not even exist. Radio, if you're streaming, this should be off. Convoy. I would definitely suggest if you have some friends that play this game, Convoy is a good thing to get into. So I think that is a pretty good jumping off point to get you started anyways. And if we find that we get enough views on this, we may continue the series by doing more jobs and building up the truck and doing all that stuff. But for right now, I think that's enough to get you started. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully you hit that like and subscribe button, and maybe even leave a comment. But please don't be afraid to leave comments just because you're the first one. It will definitely help the channel grow and help YouTube. But also, one thing I forgot to say, that if you have questions about any of the stuff that we went over, or you want to see how this stuff is in action, I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on both Twitch and YouTube at CTMAN at CTMAN 1975 on YouTube and twitch.tv/CTMAN 1975 on Twitch. And I will look to see you in game or maybe in my convoy. Until then, have a good one, everybody. Thank you for watching. See you next time.